Peace and blessings, everyone. This is your girl, Queen of Pentacles 1111, and I am back again with another pick a card reading. This one is a message from your spirit animal. If you're interested, please keep watching. Peace, family. While I shuffle the cards for our reading, here's a little disclaimer from the Queen of Pentacles 1111 herself. And that disclaimer goes out to all the negative Nellies out there who choose to spread hate and negativity down in the comments section. My advice to you is don't waste your time. Yeah, because I am way too protective and way too loyal to my tribe of like-minded souls. I consider this our safe haven, and any negativity will be blocked and deleted with the quickness. So don't bother waste your time. But for my real ones out there, you know who you are, and you know I've got your back. So come through, come vibe with me, and let's lift this veil together. I'll see you on the other side. Peace. For those of you who are new to Tarot Pick a Card readings, here's some advice when choosing your piles. Try to clear your mind, close your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath, open your eyes, and let your intuition be your guide. Choose your pile, and the timestamps will be listed down below in the description box. We'll see you for your readings. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Like I said in the intro, this message is from your spirit animal. So let's get right into the reading, okay? We'll start with pile number 1. That's for those of you who chose this little card here that says, air, work with the element of air to cut through to the core of a situation and see the truth. So that sounds like a lot of enlightenment, and it also sounds like sword energy to me. All right, so we're going to look at the way we're going to do it today is we're going to look at the oracle cards for sure, and the tarot as well. But first we're going to look at these 2 oracle cards, and they will tell you who your spirit animal could be. It doesn't even necessarily have to be your spirit animal. It could just be an animal that you will often see, and that will help you to remember that your spirit guides and ancestors and so are with you. And it can also remind you of the message that this animal is bringing to you today in these cards, to keep you conscious and aware of what it is you should be trying to achieve to level up, basically. All right, so the first one, is the owl, and it says omens. Pay attention to signs. Okay, so when we see the owl, you see those big eyes on the owl, they're basically saying, look around you. People may call it a coincidence, but really it could be a sign or a synchronicity in your life that's helping to either warn you or uplift you, kind of elevate you, bring you to the next level in your life, to help you understand why things are happening the way they are, or to help you to realize how to better deal with things that are going on in your life. And the next one we have here is the guinea pig. Okay, it says, do your part to illuminate the universe, Archangel Mary. All right, do your part to illuminate the universe. I think of things like creative projects, writing, speaking, that type of stuff, where people hear your voice or they get to know who you are. If you're going to illuminate, like I said before in this card here, we're starting to open up and become more aware of what's going on around you. So look out for the guinea pig, look out for the owl, and when you see those 2 animals, it doesn't have to be 2 at the same time, one or the other, or both, then you need to be conscious of what's going on at that moment. How are you thinking? If you see an owl at that moment and you're thinking something negative about yourself, that's your sign there to switch it around and start breathing more positivity and more life, speaking more positivity and life into yourself, into your being. Okay, so we're going to go into the tarot cards now. I'm going to flip them. Okay, we've got the Devil card. We've got the 6 of Swords and The last one is the Ten of Cups. All right, so this is a timeless message, so this pertains to anybody at any time, but I am shooting this towards the end of 2020 into 2021. So to begin with, what I see, this is just a generalization here of this reading just by looking at it right away, is I see some situations that are going on right now for you are very rocky and tumultuous with this Devil card, and you feel like you need to leave. And when you do, you will be happy. Simple, easy, right? But we can delve a little further into it though. When we look at the Devil card and we look at the Six of Swords, the first thing that sticks out to me is the number 6. 6 is usually a number in like numerology. It's a number that's associated with love, family, home life. It's a healing number. So the foundation of the number 6 really is family and a harmonious home. So I think it's also associated with the planet Venus. I'm not sure, but I think so, which is a love planet of love. And you could also be a life path 6, because the 6 is reoccurring. Life path 6 are usually called like the nurturing visionary. You're a champion of justice. You lean towards love and marriage. You have like a distinct nurturing quality, which could be towards your children, but it doesn't have to be. It could be towards like your coworkers, even pets, friends. You know, even if you work with children that are not necessarily your own, you have a real nurturing quality about them. And a champion of justice, meaning that you want things to be right. You want things to make sense, and you want things to be fair and just, which is a great quality. I'm also getting some Capricorn energy, so maybe you could be a Cap, or the person you're dealing with is a Capricorn. Right away, like it's something I can't really ignore. I feel like this is a relationship situation, because from the Devil card, I see here that, well, in every one of these cards, really, you see family, you see significant other. So in these cards, these long outdated cards, we see, you know, man and woman, man and woman, man and woman in each of these cards. But because the spirit is fluid, it doesn't have to necessarily be a man and a woman. But what we get from that symbol is a romantic affiliation, right? So what I see in these 3 cards is that you are in a situation, in a relationship, a love situation, where something is just not sitting well with you anymore. Something is not good enough for you. It could be something so simple as you don't like how your spouse, maybe they're a slob in the house and they're leaving things all over the place and it's bothering you, and because of the type of personality you have, you can't function in a place that has boxes everywhere or is, you know, messy or untidy because of your personality, and it's hindering you from like making your voice heard or being the creative person you are, and it's throwing you off. It could be something that's not really trivial, but something like that. Or it could be on the other end, you're in an abusive relationship where you feel like either you're being physically abused, or you feel like your voice is not being heard because the person is kind of restricting you and maybe mentally abusing you. Because we're dealing with swords, it could be mental abuse. And from that, now when we look at the Devil card, we see that the shackles that are binding you, whatever it is that's upsetting you or giving you unease in the relationship, can be solved with your actions. You are the one who's going to have to make this situation positive for you. You are going to be the one who has to cut those ties that bind you to that situation, to that person, to that way of thinking. Anything that is making you unhappy in a relationship, you have to first decide whether or not this is something that is worth you sticking around for. If it's not compromising your beliefs or your health or your safety, you know. If it is something that's worth working on, then you stick together and you go to an outside party, maybe, meaning like a counselor, a marriage counselor or something like that, to help you deal with your issues. Or if it's a situation that's more detrimental to your health, to your well-being, like abuse, then you need to leave, right? You need to find a way to leave. I'm getting a feeling of children here. For some of you who watch this, maybe you already have children and that's why it is so hard to leave your marriage. But the good thing about that situation is we have here the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a card that is a symbol of hope. It's a symbol that shows happiness and fulfillment. Your cups are full, has contentment in it. Also has a rainbow in this card, which is like a symbol of faith and hope. So these cards are really trying to say here, the main message that they're trying to say is don't give up hope. Whatever is ailing you, whatever matters of the heart that are causing you, grief or heartache, or turmoil or fear, any of those negative kind of low vibrational feelings, you need to make a change, and it starts with you, and it is possible to make a change. Because I kind of like this devil card. I know a lot of people have things to say about it. You see the devil and it looks intimidating and scary, but no, when you delve deeper into this card, you see that this card is about love and action. And when I say love, I mean love for yourself, loving yourself enough to make a change from a negative situation. Let me look at these cards again, because I feel like, so pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to what's going on. It could even be a new relationship that you're in and you're questioning whether or not you should actually be with this person. Pay attention to the signs. Look for those red flags, right? And if you feel like something is making you uneasy, don't question yourself and don't think, well, maybe I'm, reading too much into it or something. No, you are right, and you need to figure out how to get out of that situation, or if it's worth fixing it fast, right? And then you have here the guinea pig. So do your part to illuminate the universe. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you have no voice, where you're too scared to speak your own truth, your creativity is stifled, you cannot illuminate your universe. Those things are a detriment to creativity, and just happiness and living a full life. You can't illuminate the universe and spread your message of whatever it may be to others if you're being stifled, if you're being muzzled, if you're living in fear. So this card here is your motivation. This is your sign, like the owl says, look for signs. This is your sign that you need to fix something, or you need to leave something that is hindering you. Something negative, something hurtful, something fearful. Maybe it's bad habits that you yourself have that you need to let go of. It could be addiction. Whatever it is, it needs to be rectified now, because you will be able to illuminate others with your message. Maybe your journey that you go through, you'll be able to illuminate others by telling them what happened to you and telling them that, yes, you can do it. You can get your 10 cups. You can be fulfilled. You can have the abundance that you want, the perfect life that you've always wanted. Not necessarily perfect, but let's say the dream life that you've always wanted. You can have those things, but first you got to let go. You got to let go, and then you got to find out where to go. So you got to let go of the situation. You got to find out where to go. When I say where to go, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical thing. It can be, but it should be, okay, this is not serving me. What will serve me? The fastest way to find out what you want to do is by finding out what you don't want to do, or what you want for yourself is the fastest way to finding out what you want for yourself is by knowing what you don't want for yourself. And it seems to me that group number 1 is in a situation that is just not doing it for them. Okay, so let's look at the oracle cards right now and see if we can get a little clarity on this. Look at this. Okay, so we have, this one says volcano, volatility. All right, and then we have this oracle card here that says answering the call. All right, so these cards are like totally validating what was just said here in the tarot cards. The Devil card goes with volcano and volatility, because you think of an eruption, you think about heat, you think about emotions, right? All those types of hot and heated emotions. You think of things like even violence. Those types of energies. It doesn't necessarily have to be violence. It could be, unfortunately, but we think of those energies that are heated and hot. You can't really sit and be at peace when you have those energies around you. You can't really sit and put pen to paper and explore your creativity when you have those energies around, right? Also, oh wow, in this card here that says answering the call, what do we see there? Rainbow. Rainbow. So for those of you who are feeling down and out and feel like your situation is hopeless, there's rainbows. The rainbows are a symbol of faith and hope. So this card, this reading from your spirit animals are telling you to never give up hope. Check the signs. Illuminate the universe. You can do it. Never feel like your situation is hopeless, because we've got validation here. You will get your rainbow. You will get your rainbow. But you got to cut out what's bothering you, what's holding you back, what's hindering you, what's shackling you. You have the strength to do it. You have the strength to do it. And when we talk about nurturing, the number 6 is a nurturing number. Life Path 6 are nurturing visionaries. We can also talk about nurturing yourself. You could talk about nurturing your inner child, because I see children in these cards as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own children. It could be you, your inner child. Things that are going on with you that that maybe you brought from when you were a child, that are causing you to have negative interactions with the person that you're romantically involved with. This is all basically your spirit animals are basically telling you, pay attention to what's going on around you, be more aware to what is triggering you or upsetting you or throwing you off, what is causing you dis-ease in your life, and fix it. Sounds easy. I know it's not, but it's what needs to be done. So the best thing to do from hearing this message is taking this as your sign, right? Your sign to say, okay, today is the first day. I make baby steps to fixing what is not sitting well with me, what is causing me turmoil or heartache, uncertainty, fear in my relationship, what is holding me back from illuminating others with my voice, with my message, with my creativity, right? With my gifts. You can do it, and you should do it, because it seems like you have a message to share. So that's it for the reading. It's not a very long one, but this is a very deep one, because it shows that some changes need to be made. And from what I see, if we're talking about years, and we're talking from 2020 to 2021, if you fix or work towards fixing this situation now, your 2021 will be a beautiful one. So I wish you all the best in your journey. Be gentle with yourself. Have mercy on yourself. But also love yourself enough that you want to better your situation. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for tuning in with me. Until next time. Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this reading. This reading, once again, is a message from your spirit animal. So for those of you who chose pile 3, you chose this little card here, which says, on target, follow your ideal life path. Ooh, so that makes me think of like a calling, like a knowing that is maybe just going to hit you one day, and you're going to have your aha moment that you have something to achieve in this world, maybe a message to give, you have something to say, some creativity to share with the world. Who knows? We'll see. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to look at these 2 oracle cards here, which will have your spirit animal on here. And when I say spirit animal, I think, yes, it actually could be a spirit animal that communicates with you and you communicate with it. But it could also be just an animal that maybe you see out in nature one day that will give you a warning or a caution, or it will wake you up to, like, say what you're doing at that time. It will make you think, okay, am I on the right path? Am I not on the right path? What do I need to change about the way I'm doing things? Or yes, I am on the right path. Let me keep going because I saw this animal and that's my sign. Sometimes you have spirit guides or loved ones who have passed on who send messages to you through this spirit animal. So when you see them, you know that that person is with you, or your spirit guides are urging you to keep pushing on, that you're on the right path. Okay, so let's look at these 2 spirit animals. Oh, the first one, we had dragonfly already. Dragonfly, it says illusion. You know who you really are. Ooh, that's a nice one. You know who you really are. So any kind of, feelings that you have brewing inside, you don't let anybody talk you or steer you away from your path, because you know who you are. You know yourself best. And then we have the rhinoceros. Be strong and courageous. Archangels Sandalphon and Roquiel. I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce those, but so we got the rhinoceros. Yes, strong and courageous. Wonderful. So the message I'm just kind of getting from right now is staying on target, having any kind of awakening in your life is, you're going to need to be strong and courageous to see it through, to stay on target and to follow your path, to transform into what it is you are supposed to be, your purpose, so you can live your purpose and enlighten others and share with them and just make this world a better place. To do all that stuff, you are going to need strength, because the road is going to be rocky, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to have a lot of lows, but it's definitely going to have a lot of highs. So that was just a little message I was getting. So let's start with the tarot cards as we usually do, and let's see what's going on. There you go. Okay, we have the Hierophant. We have the 4 of Wands. Oh. We have the King of Wands. All right. So let's just do this. Okay, so from what I see here already is, yeah, we've got some kind of spiritual, some kind of transformation that you're going to go through, but it's more on the spiritual side of things, not so much the physical side of things. And that brings me back to the dragonfly. The dragonfly talks about wisdom of transformation. So it's like mental type of thing, maybe something you feel with your sixth sense that you're going through a transformation. You think about, like, in comparison to the dragonfly, you think of, like, say, a butterfly. A butterfly is about transformation as well, but it kind of has a physical connotation to it. Like, you know, the butterfly goes from the caterpillar, it goes into the cocoon, and then it transforms into a big, beautiful butterfly. Well, the dragonfly is something a little different. It's more about wisdom, so learning and thinking, more of an inward transformation. That's what I'm getting from this reading. And when you pull the Hierophant, you think of things like learning, higher learning. Maybe you're going to go to school to learn something. And I'm not just talking about something that you feel like you have to learn. I'm talking about something that speaks to your purpose and will help you live your best life, like be your truest self. So maybe going to school to learn tarot or, Reiki, something that has to do with the energies and things that we cannot see, so metaphysics and those types of things. So I feel like from this first card and from all these other cards, actually, I feel like it's coming at me so strong. I feel like you have some kind of spiritual work that you are going to embark on to help others. It's crazy, actually, as I think about it, because we have the card that says follow your ideal life path. We also have the King of Wands here. We think of the King of Wands, we think about about a power, a presence, command of attention, and adaptability without compromise. So it's like you don't want to compromise who you are. This whole, you know, aha moment, this revelation that you're going to have is not going to change you, as in, it's not going to change you as in who you are. It's just going to tweak you a little bit, and it's just going to add a little bit onto you. It's going to clear things up for you, and you're going to look back and you're going to realize, shoot, that's why I went through all those things that I did. That's why those people treated me the way they did. That's why I, you know, got this bad sense from that person. That's why, like, my spirit didn't take to this person, is because you have some kind of sixth sense, some kind of spiritual strength. It could be clear cognizance. It could be clear clairvoyance. It could be clairaudience. I think there are so many clairs that you can later on research. Maybe you will end up researching after you watch this reading, that shows you how you communicate with the spiritual realm, and you will soon have an awakening that will help you tap into that spirituality, that spiritual side of yourself. That's amazing, actually. So the King of Wands here, I feel like you'll be a visionary. So, like, people will definitely kind of look to you for wisdom. People will look to you for help. And whatever capacity, spiritual capacity you're going to be delving into, it is something that you will be able to make a living off of, and a very good living that will be a cause for celebration. You will live a life of contentment. I also see, I always say this, but in the Four of Wands, I see these two sets of wands here, and it always makes me think of 1111. And it makes me think of being a master manifester. So from what I'm getting here is that you are going to have a revelation that will help you to understand your strengths, spiritually speaking. And a lot of things are going to start to make sense to you. You are going to transform in the type of person you are, the way you handle certain situations. And also you're going to go into a situation of higher learning. I don't necessarily mean university. When I mean higher learning, I mean learning that's going to elevate you spiritually. What else? I also noticed something. I always look at this too. I'm big on symbology in the cards. And when you see the King of Wands is looking off to the right. And what I noticed just by looking at the reflection in my camera here is the rhinoceros is also looking off to the right. Am I right? Yes. The rhinoceros is also looking off into the right. And usually the right facing cards mean looking towards the future. So this is something definitely that pertains to your future. You're definitely awakening different aspects of yourself, spiritually speaking. This is just a little thing on the side here. Doing meditations, I think, to kind of open up your third eye and your crown chakras could really benefit you at this time. What else? I do see that people will be coming to you for answers in some capacity. Either you're going to be a reader, you're going to be a healer, you're going to be doing something that's less physical and more spiritual. And you may be sitting there thinking, what in the world? I don't even know what you're talking about. But you may not be tapped into it now. But what this card is showing, that in the future, could be the near future, could be the distant future, you are going to tap into your spiritual abilities and gifts. Hello. And that's why you need this rhinoceros card talking about being strong and courageous. You definitely have to be strong and courageous to live your own truth, and live your truth in a proud way with, you know, strength and I wouldn't say an absence of fear, but the courage to keep persevering, even though people may look at you like you're crazy or say, what's happened to you? You've changed. You never used to be like this. You need to still keep pursuing this aspect of yourself, because this is your calling. This is your calling. And even in the rhinoceros card here, I see the Metatron cube. The Metatron cube, which is the shape, I don't know if you can see it because it's really faint in the background, talks about a whole bunch of different things, but one of the things I get from it is personal transformation. And that brings me back to the dragonfly, which I know talks about personal transformation. And on the card it says, you know who you really are. So deep down inside, whether, you know, with the daily noise and back and forth and all those things, we sometimes lose ourselves and, you know, who we really are. But this reading is urging you to get back to that and to silence all the noise, take some time to yourself, meditate, do whatever it is that grounds you, that will get you in touch with either your guides or even just your inner self, your inner knowing, to pursue, oh my goodness, to pursue this gift that you have to become more abundant in your life and help others, mainly help others. Because as you can see in this card, it's not just one person celebrating. It looks like there's quite a few people celebrating. So when people come into contact with you, when they have interactions with you in whatever capacity, if you're going to be healing them, giving them advice, counseling them, they are going to have reason to celebrate after dealing with you, because you are going to enlighten them. So through your enlightenment of yourself, you are going to enlighten a plethora of people. And because here I see, because you are a king, look at this, before I pull these oracle cards, okay, you're the King of Wands, you're sitting on your throne. You also have the Hierophant here, who's sitting on a throne and has people basically at his feet, his or her feet, listening and kind of like drinking up every word he or she is saying. So this is your future. You have a future where you are going to be positively influencing other people's lives through the spirit, through spirituality. Maybe some of you already know this. I already feel like some of you like realize and recognize that you are psychic. You have psychic tendencies. Maybe some of you already communicate with a spirit guide, or even some of you may have a voice. This is what I have, is a voice. An inner voice is what I heard when I was younger, an inner voice, and the inner voice tells you things sometimes, and the things are right. It sounds like your voice, so you don't know if you're just talking to yourself, but the things that the voice tells you end up checking out later on, and you come to realize maybe that's your spirit guide speaking to you. This card here says on target. Sorry guys if you can hear noise in the background. My children are awake and full of energy, so I apologize for that. This card says on target. So it's just trying to tell you, never lose sight of the goal. The goal is to help people, but first and foremost, the goal is to get in touch with yourself on a spiritual basis. Wow. You have here the new moon, and it says promise. So the new moon is telling you you're going to start something new. You're going to start something new, and it's going to be a great revelation that's going to change your life. It's talking about promise, right? We're talking about, like, this is an encouraging card. This is not something to take lightly. Whatever venture it is you embark on, you will be prosperous at. And also what I get from this is just something I'm hearing for the new moon. Usually you can also do a ritual. A lot of people do rituals on the new moon where you write things that you want in your life, that you want to achieve, that you want to manifest in your life. And you can write it down on a piece of paper and read it out in front of the new moon, and you can burn it and send it off into the ether and let the universe provide you with whatever it is you want in life. Even you don't, doesn't necessarily have to be physical things, materialistic things. It could also be you want clarity in life. You want to be able to embrace your gifts. You want to have more contact with or communication with your guides or your ancestors who have passed on. Those are some of the things you could ask for in your new moon ritual. And the last oracle card here, we have the white buffalo. All right, the white buffalo to me symbolizes a very strong animal. When you think of a buffalo, they're big, they're robust, they're strong. Reminds me somewhat of a rhinoceros, but just from a different part of the world. And these animals are animals that I believe stay on target. You know, sometimes when you see a rhinoceros, it looks like a big clumsy animal kind of, but when you see a rhinoceros charge, when you see a buffalo charging, I'm not saying charging to ram something, because I don't think they necessarily ram, but I think a rhinoceros does. But when you see them charging at a target, they stay on that target. They absolutely stay on that target. It's almost like a tunnel vision, and they stick with it. And that's what you're being told. Stick with this awakening that is going to come to you very soon. And don't lose faith. Don't lose hope, no matter what other people tell you. They don't understand it. That's okay. It's not for them to understand. Whether people understand you or not is none of your business. What is your business is if you understand you. And another, since we're talking about spirit animals here, the white buffalo could also be a spirit animal. So look out for these animals on your day-to-day like goings on. You're out and about, and if you just see them on TV or in a book, or you hear people mention them, look around you and see what's happening at that point. What emotions are you feeling at that point? What do you need to change? What do you need to embrace? Because I also look here, the Hierophant is number 5, and number 5 usually in numerology usually symbolizes some kind of change. And I'm thinking that maybe you need to change certain things in your life that will help to kind of bring you closer to your spirituality. Certain things may be blocking you from embracing your spirituality and your spiritual gifts and tapping into your your talents. So once you do that and you kind of have this awakening, and I don't feel like it's awakening that you need to work towards, I feel like it's something that's going to come towards you, and it is going to slap you upside your head and tell you, this is what you're supposed to be doing. These are your gifts. Now go. Stay on target. Embrace it. Work with it. And, do the best. Reach people. Reach the masses. Help them. That is your purpose. Wow. So that is a huge message for you in the near future, as we see the King of Wands looking out into the future. We see the rhinoceros looking out into the future. You have a bright future. You just need to get to know yourself and who you really are. And you already know who you are. You just got to look a little deeper, and you got to come to terms with it and not be in denial. People may think you're weird. They may think you're strange. Who cares? That's none of your business. You need to get in touch with who you are and what your purpose is, and you will be successful, and those who meet you will be successful as well. So this is the end of your reading. As you can hear, probably my children are in the background. I wish you all the best. Thank you for tuning in with me. Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. For those of you who chose the last pile, you chose this one with this little card here that says breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. All right, so you guys were the brave ones who chose this group, but the brave ones who are wise enough to understand that maybe there are certain things in your life that you want to change, bad habits, and that you need work, that like we all do, but not all of us are brave enough to actually acknowledge that. So this reading is going to be, like I said before, a message from your spirit animal. When I say spirit animal, it could be like traditionally speaking, like a spirit animal or a totem that is yours and resonates with you and you resonate with it. Or it could be when you see these animals out in nature or on TV or someone speaks of them, it could be a time for you to kind of stop and look around and see what's going on in your life. And you'll get the sense, are you on the right path with what you're doing? Should you continue on that path, or is it something you need to change, something you need to improve? So let's get into the reading, and then we can determine what your spirit animals are trying to tell you. So I'm going to start with the 2 oracle cards that will have the animals on them, and then we'll go from there. All right, so the first card is the Swan. It says demonstrate grace and majesty. Archangel Bokpi or Bokpai. I don't know how to pronounce those words. Sorry, everybody. And the next one is Black Panther, and it says passion. Follow your passion. Okay, so right away what I get from that is kind of like, if you want to achieve something, go ahead and achieve it. I think about the story with the swan. I think of the story of the ugly duckling that turns into the beautiful swan. And following your passion. When you think of a Black Panther, you think of a predator who is beautiful, and once they see their prey and they want to eat that food, they want to achieve their goal, they will stay on target until they reach that animal or whatever it is they're chasing. And so, but with that though, before you can follow your passion and achieve your goals, you have to break certain bad habits. That's just the message that I'm getting. I mean, we haven't gotten into the reading yet, but that's what I'm getting from this situation. All right, let's start with the tarot cards. We have here the Ace of Wands, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Ace of Cups. So we have the aces, the beginning, the introduction, a spark of something that's going to be coming to you very soon. I'm feeling like it is some kind of, some creative something, rather a message or some awakening that you're going to get from the universe, the creator, spiritual realm. I believe it has to do with a new passion. But then really, when I look at the number 8 here, I think of a life path 8. I think of the number 8. I think of infinity. And when I think of those numbers, I think of efficiency, a relationship with wealth and money, financial security, those types of things. So what I'm getting here is that, yes, you are going to be handed lots of, fulfillment, emotionally and through work and those types of things. But at first you need to kind of break the bad habits, maybe bad spending habits. I think the relationship that you have with wealth and money is not necessarily a positive one, or maybe one that's hindering you from becoming this beautiful swan. And I think it seems like you may be one of those people who has high taste and likes the finer things in life, but you have spending habits and things that maybe kind of hinder you from getting all of those wonderful things. Because I feel like we have other groups that have awakenings, but it's more of the spiritual nature. I think this one is more of a material nature because we have the 8. And whenever I think of 8s, I think of like money making, wealth, being goal oriented. As you can see, like, these wands, they're gonna hit their goal, they're gonna hit their target, no doubt about it. The sky is clear and they are sailing through that sky to achieve their goal. And I think that's you as well, but you first got to get rid of some of these habits that could be hindering you. This is what I'm thinking. Sorry guys, where was I? So if I can just, before we go to the oracles, I want to just get a clarification here just to make sure we're talking about money, because when I get the follow your passion card and the swan card here, I feel like we're going from like maybe a rags to riches situation. And you have follow your passion here, meaning like if you have an idea, kind of like these two cards definitely mean like a creative spark or creativity. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So I feel like it's some kind of creativity that you can use to make money, to become abundant. But there's something that's blocking you. And I think it has to do with your spending habits. I really do. For some reason. Okay, so here we have the 10 of Pentacles. There you go. The 10 of Pentacles is showing us that you can have the life that you want. You do have high taste. You do like the finer things in life. And you can have it right now. But something is blocking you. And I think it is your bad habits or any kind of negative, behaviors that you have with money, where money is concerned. I'm talking about overspending, or even like being miserly and holding on to money too tight, that type of stuff. Or if you're trying to live that life right now with the finer things, but yet you're not ready to. So even though you have expensive taste, maybe your bank account, doesn't allow that right now. So you need to kind of pursue a certain creative endeavor that you may have floating around in your head. Your spirit animals are telling you to go for it, because if you do that, you will be abundant and you will have the security, the financial security, but not just following your passions. It's also getting rid of any bad habits. I'm seeing things like gambling or overspending, being a little loose with your money. And here on this card, it says self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. So gambling is a vice. Being like a shopaholic, that can be a vice, that type of stuff. So two things are going on. One, yes, if you, any kind of creative endeavor that you have going on in your mind, whether it's writing, singing, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera, any of those things that you want to pursue, your spirit animals are telling, yes, this is a good thing to do. The way is clear for you. I mean, especially if you're a life path 8, you're a money maker, right? But aside from the creative endeavor, that's all well and good and everything, but we got to deal with your unhealthy views maybe of money, and look at where that comes from, probably, like, as well. Where do you get those negative ideas from? So we're going to look at the oracle cards right now, and let's see what we can figure out. All right, so you have, okay, this card says Shaman, Ancient Healing Wisdom. And then we have this one says, ooh, it says Elder. Okay, guys, I got these oracle cards from completely different decks. And it's interesting that they should both talk about elders and, you know, ancient healing wisdom. And usually you equate with being wise with someone who's a little bit older. Also in this picture, there's a deer. So that could also be a spirit animal, someone to look out, an animal to look out for. From what I get from this is that to achieve like the highest version of yourself, you need to go back into your lineage, yes, but it doesn't have to be that far back. It could just be to your childhood. You can speak to your parents, they're your elders. You could speak to your grandparents or your aunts and uncles and find out what the kind of atmosphere was like where money was concerned when you were growing up. That way you can kind of, it 9 times out of 10 will tell you why you deal with money the way you do today. For example, you could have been raised in a home where money, you didn't have a lot of money. And so now when you get your hands on some money, the first thing you want to do is what? Spend it. Or you could have grown up in a house where you had a lot of money. And so now when you get older, money means nothing to you. And what do? You spend it. Or you could have had not a lot of money when you're growing up. So what you want to do today is you want to hold on to it and you don't use it to spend anything. Or, I mean, that's unhealthy as well. Right? So getting in touch with yourself and finding out a little bit of your past. I mean, when we're growing up and we're young, who really knows what... I mean, sometimes you do, but when you're younger, do your parents really discuss their finances with you? Most of the time they don't. They just kind of handle it on their own, right? So if you go back and you find out, you know, what did your parents teach you? Did they teach you things like money doesn't grow on trees or money is the root of all evil? Those types of things to give you kind of a negative feeling where money is concerned. If that's the case, that could be an indicator of why and how you deal with money today. That could be something that is hindering you from getting your 10 of Pentacles lifestyle. Also, this could also be a cautionary kind of reading from your spirit animal telling you that when you follow your creative endeavor, you will reach your 10 of Pentacles. But you need to be mindful of what you do with all of the abundance that you receive from your creativity, from your self-expression, from your writing, from your dancing, your singing, your production, your content creating. So that could also be a little word of caution, maybe from your spirit guides, I'm thinking. And when I see things like healing, I also feel like, you know, it's work that you got to do on the inside. And wisdom makes me think of someone who's a little older. So from what I'm seeing here, you have a bright, bright future coming towards you very shortly. But it's just a little bit of back work that needs to be done. And use the resources you have around you. Use the people you have around you to get the information that you need. Find out what your home life was like when you were a little younger. And maybe you can't remember for yourself. Or maybe you already know. Maybe you already know what the deal is. Okay, if you already know what the situation was when you were younger, what the atmosphere was like where money was concerned where you were younger, well, then you need to maybe get some healing from an outside party, professionally speaking, or from a friend, from an older friend, a wiser friend than you, someone maybe who's been through the same type of thing, maybe even some advice from your parents, how to kind of rectify this maybe kind of toxic relationship you have with money. It's nothing you can't do. And the consolation is that in your future, things are going to be super bright for you. You are going to have everything you could have imagined and then some. Financial security, you are going to feel set and comfortable and like you've achieved your goals in life, because from this reading, it seems that you're very goal-oriented. But the caution here is, do not let your relationship with finances and money hinder your success. So I hope this reading wasn't too messy. I hope it resonated with you in some way, shape, or form. I wish the best for you all. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, bye.